and brag. Welcome back, everybody. This is Saturday night General Brie Live. Let me get this going on here. Alright. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Well, I know I did. I was tired, man. Sometimes I don't usually eat till the next day. I like my leftovers. You know what I mean? Well, welcome aboard. If y'all are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad y'all are here. Get on board and, find your first class seat until the conductors get on here. And y'all can get your favorite snacks out. And whatever you partake in, it's good. So, I'm just giving a minute so this is like, yeah, okay. We get some people some time to get in. It is star date 11/29/2025. The time is 7:54 p.m. Central Time. Temps are lowering. So tomorrow. So we're gonna get a little cool wave over here. Yep. For all the new people, how this works. Hello. What's up? Moon Dust. Glad you're here. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We're having 2000s rock radio on Pandora tonight. Yes. How this works for the new people, welcome aboard. And if you're returning, welcome back. What's up? How this works for you new folks, I always ask y'all to get a pen and paper because sometimes I give you angel numbers or, numerology, recipes, any kind of info for you to have to check out. Plus, Spirit will give you some songs. Not all of it will fit you for a layman, and if you are a spiritualist, or resonating, or with musicians, and music is the only way that word is used. Okay. Oh man, it was rough for me, man. I'll tell you, I cooked a doozy. Y'all can go back and look at my short. That was a big dinner. Yes, it was. And that dinner was a gourmet meal. Yes. I love doing that. So, but I ate yesterday. I finally ate my dinner yesterday, Friday, because it's been always that way that I would eat my food the next day, the way I wanted to eat it. Hello. Whoever you are, what's your name in English? All I can see is Kunar. I think that's right. It's Russian, maybe? Well, welcome aboard. 11-3-0-3-0-4. Somebody's a hoe. We're already starting tonight, ain't we? Oh, shoot. Excuse me? Can you shout straight A's? You got straight A's? Good job. Welcome aboard, Jared in Livingston. S8M. Boy, what's up with all these last numbers on people's names? That's changing up. We've seen that everywhere. So I noticed like S8M. The other one was what was his name? Unknown Guy E91. So I kind of remember some of them. But how this works, getting back to it, I resonate with the energy. I feel the energy from the music of the great lyricists or music writers. I work with the frequencies of the music that gives you a message. Usually I work through the phone, Pandora, Mercury retrograde, hello. So y'all get your pen and paper out and put me on the big screen so you can see how ugly I am. No, I'm just kidding. See my big face. Put your ears on so you can get a better listening and hear things, right? Sometimes I might whisper. No, so you don't get distracted, you know. But if you have to go back and rewind, it's good. If you miss something, I do that once in a while. Y'all keep the energy good in here because otherwise you'll be timed out. You will be in class. It's here for fun, facts. Use your discernment. Okay? So here's how it works. I can read energy right here, right now. And the strongest to me comes out. I can't always predict the future per se, you know, perfect timing because people have free will. But I can read past energies, okay? But I read present energy, all right? Spirit reads the present energies. Also, we learn here, I'm a positive, motivational speaker. I have been here to teach through wisdom. What is wisdom? Experience, okay? I also do things outside of here. So if you want to learn how to have a better life, change your dynamics, your programming, then you're in the right place. If you want to come in here and act like a class clown, well, you won't last. So you better be up to par and have an open mind, okay? So, there you go. Okay. Whatever doesn't always resonate or touches you, triggers you, whatever. This is a deep subconscious channel. It is also a growth channel. So we have fun here. Sometimes I do movies, I do biopics, reviews in a way, give you a history on the song, or Spirit will give you a message to that, not the whole song. So if you go to the buffet, save some for somebody else. Don't be greedy, especially when you've already had 3 plates, okay? Don't be greedy. Let somebody else share, you know? That's the way it is. Thank y'all for sharing and giving a thumbs up, because if you're gonna sit here, that's cheap, right? It's cheap. Give a thumbs up. Share the video if you want somebody to have some fun, or if something really resonates and that you think a friend could use some help out here, then that's fine. Sometimes I will answer questions, but it's at my discretion. You can't push me around over here. And if you even think you can insult me, well, I've had the best. So, I've worked with a lot of people that can be very nasty, right? So we don't try to judge here. Keep your personal business out of here unless you want, that all known. We try to keep it as general, and we try to do it the code way, Keep you smart, keep you checking. So if you got an extra phone or a computer, because I don't always give you the information, sometimes I even have to check mine. So, do your homework. Don't be lazy in your life, and don't expect somebody else to give you one, because they can't. And if you need advice, then don't lie about it, because you're going to get the wrong answer. Just like if you have to have a lawyer, you omit something, that's the worst. You don't tell them something, that's the worst. You lie to them, you're going to get the wrong answer, okay? You're just going to get a pat on the back that you want, a justification, a yes man. That ain't going to help you either. So, all right, guys. Let's get on the train, get your first class seat to your destiny. It's all about you, your life, okay? Not somebody else. And remember, don't be a people pleaser. You can get in a lot of trouble trying to impress somebody or stroke somebody else's ego because you're scared to lose them because they ain't no good. So don't be a people pleaser, because you might wind up in a world of hurt. All right. 3, 0, 3, 2, 1, 3, 5. Put your ears on. Yeah, put your ears on. Let's get tapped in and tuned on. All right, Spirit's in the house. We're going to go with 2000s rock radio. And don't miss out. This might be your last chance to catch this train, right? You might have to wait till the next one. Who wouldn't want that? That's going to put you behind. You want to keep right there on your timeline, right here, right now. All right, let's go. Happy Mud Mud Vein is who's playing. Happy. Somebody's happy out here, right? All right, let's see what the message is. Let's get going, Spirit. We are going to play with the Wizard of Oz. Can't wait to see that new movie out. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've been doing a little studying on that, you know, the psychological part of that movie. I watched the original. Please don't take anybody off. Just time them out. Give them a warning, okay? Please. Because our haters are our best fans. Don't forget that. Our trolls are our best fans. Because why? We're important over here and they want to know what we're doing, okay? Thank you for the ones that have, you know, grace to do a thumbs up. If you don't, it don't matter. I still get the views. I ain't worried about it. Because I am authentic. All right? So here we go. All right. You want to disrespect, you're going to get it because you're nothing but a keyboard thug. You can't, you know, you throw rocks and can't hide your hands. So, you know, you're secretive. You ain't authentic. If you're authentic, you ain't got to hide. You ain't got to do any of that. Okay? Show who you are. Because even if you got a fake name, you're still going to show who you are. You have integrity. You do the right thing when ain't nobody looking. That's that person right there. All right. What do we got, Spirit? What do we got for our dreamers? All right, get with your family or whatever. If they want to check out the show, fine. Get your favorite snack before I get going or whatever you partake in. No judges over here. You know, I've tried my stuff and, you know, I've had my share. Give me some donuts and coffee and we'll be there. Or some butter popcorn with some salt. Yeah. Tonight I had some tamales and ranch-style beans. Oh, it was good. Today I had a leftover turkey, bacon, and guacamole sandwich, man. I tell you, it was good. I cooked some Cajun voodoo eggs yesterday, or Thursday. You know, those deviled eggs, you know, those possessed chickens. And then I had my own recipes and stuff. Texas loaded chicken eggs. Yep, you know, because they always carry, you know, those GONs over here. Yeah. So they was loaded with roast beef. Oh, my Lord. My chicken was, I mean, my turkey was good, man. Let's talk about spicy. All right, 2047111. Make your wish. All right, you're in alignment. Go back and check your numbers out. They have a sentence to tell you. All right, what do we got, Spirit? This is Saturday Night Live with Spirits tunes in to tarot with me, your favorite Spirit DJ Brie. All right, so somebody's out here happy. This is somebody's so happy, man. This is a song that's really, you know, the music is just electrifying. Somebody wants to make you happy. It's like somebody screaming, be happy, be happy, be happy. Yeah, let's go. Thanks everybody being here. Y'all are welcome. Okay? Anybody. Oh, I just want to say thank you to Brittany. She gave me this beautiful rosary here. I've been wanting a St. Christopher's, but it's beautiful. She makes jewelry. As soon as I can, I'll get her website and I will promote her on the show. She's a great friend and sponsor. She does vintage, making, you know, jeans and taking vintage band t-shirts and stuff and really turning them into stuff. She also makes jewelry. She made me this beautiful rosary with the cross. I love it. Usually I wear the one with the barbed wire. Okay, meant to live, switch foot. So somebody's trying to balance their feet, or they turned over, you know, because they were on teeters, so they're on the right foot. They've switched feet or switched sides. They were meant to live. Yes, you're meant to live. You don't wait till you die, you know, excuse me, you know, all your life just to live, right? So you need to live in the moment, right? Live an authentic life, not a double life, not doing stuff and trying to hide, you know, you just don't do it. Mice and men have second tries. Give them a second chance. You're a mice or you're a man? You scary or what? Somebody's eyes have opened. Okay. Here we go, guys. Here we go. These are my Wizard of Oz cards. Yes. Some people have lost themselves, so they're meant to live. That happens, and then sometimes we find out our whole life was a lie, right? And then what do? Who are we? Well, I got a remedy for that, but we'll keep going before I teach y'all that a little bit more to find out who you really are in life. And it's not a bad thing. It's really not. But you'll find out when you see it, then you start reviewing back and you go, wow, how you were kept from doing this. How you were kept from finding out. And people don't always know who you are. They think they do. And then sometimes we don't see what other people see. You know, they see that light. They see that glow before you do. So, you know, not everybody is happy for you. I just had an experience recently, more than once. You know, this person have been trying to uplift them, and all they want to do is have a pity party, be a little princess, you know. And I'm over there doing something for them, and they still on their pity party, and then want to cause an argument because I said I'm one happy person with or without you. Because that comes from inside. I don't need a person to make me happy, but I definitely ain't gonna hang around with somebody that's miserable, because misery loves company. Go hang around with the people that want to listen to it, want to patronize you, you know, want to use that, you know. So that person, boy, I tell you, they just turned on me, you know. And it's funny because they put on a show, really put on a show, you know, and it was witnessed. So, you know. And I got told, man, you know, that person didn't want to hear because when they're in a bad way, well, some of that bad way, they made them choices. And then, you know, they talk a good talk, but they don't practice it. So, just saying, just experiences. Okay, your money logic, we get it. Here we go with the money. You got to be logical, you know. And money isn't evil, it's what you do with it that is, the person that does with it. You know? So... You know, so we get it here on this station, right? We get it. All right, faint, Lincoln Park. Faint. Oh, somebody's about ready to pass out. I hope they didn't have too much fun at that rave party on that last song. Heavy metal. Two 112. How's the weather where you guys are at? It's a little cool today. Not bad. Somebody's showing their scars here. Like I just said, somebody's showing their scars, you know? Sometimes our reactions or how we are shows our scars, right? You know, some people saying this is all that I've got, or you're all I've got, even though I'm acting wrong. You know, I'm not acting in my authentic self, so I'm just puking and spewing my anger on you, taking you for granted that you're going to always be there, you know? Somebody's insecure. Nobody's confident. You know, their life don't make sense. So here we got the Three of Bricks. And this was laying like this, so this may or may not be like the other foot, switch foot. Okay, the Three of Bricks means somebody's building, okay? Looks like people are collaborating. That's building something, you know, an architect. So somebody's collaborating. Somebody doesn't want you to turn their back on them. And then we've got the Six of Bricks. That's equal give and take. So somebody's weighing, thinking about it. You know, we're teeter-tottering, right? We're teeter-tottering. We're teeter-tottering. They want it, but they don't know if they should give it. You know, it could be either way, you know. And somebody just wants to scream, listen to me. You're not hearing me. No, you're wanting your way. This is what I'm here. Don't turn your back on me. You know, when somebody pushes me away or doesn't treat me right, I'm going to go. I ain't going to stay around there. You know. Sometimes people cause a problem so they can go do what they want, too. You know what I'm saying? You're like, somebody's creating confusion and whatever taking things out of context because of where their mind is at. You know, they're not. It's like that movie Superman with with the glitch. You know, in the crystal when he got to see the hologram of his parents and it was glitching. So they're not getting all the message because they're not focusing on what you say. And I've been showing somebody that. Everybody's so used to being on this computer, you know, the phone, that they can't multitask and hear different things. You have to be trained for that, to be aware of your surroundings and what's going on and listen to different sounds. I've been there. Okay, all around me, here we go. Fly, leave. So here, look at this. I got a person that's alone, but he's being pulled, right? Look at that. See that? Look at those two crows or birds. It's kind of like a puppet. And they're walking all alone. So somebody's not used to seeing the real you, but they've seen you. They just forgot. They forgot who you were. You know, they listened to the wrong people. You know, when they say good things about you one minute and then they say something bad about you the next. In a bad context, you know? So, okay, that's the flame there. I think that's a flame. Fly leaf, right? So, those birds are connected to this person, whoever it is. And we got the 3 here. We got the 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So, birds send messages, or maybe somebody's trying to get a message out, or they're not listening to their intuition. That's what I just got from Spirit. You know, these birds are connected to them, or these words, you know, people gossip, things like that. These 2 people are birds are messengers, right? So, one's more elevated than the other, and they're trying to either lift this person up, right? Or they're connected to this chords, right? Or connected to what's been said or what's gonna be said to this person. Okay? But if you look in this thing, you know, whoever this was, this monkey and this guy he's giving all to one person and not being fair and giving anything to this one. But this one here, they got the sword. The sword of truth. So somebody's being paid to, what, say the wrong thing? Huh? So it's not equal give and take here. It's not. Okay? So somebody's holding on to something, to what they feel. And this person here looks like they're walking with their head down. Maybe they're worried about what's been said, or they're isolated, or they're on their own, walking away, whichever. We'll find out soon enough, right? So somebody's holding back and holding on to what they're feeling instead of saying something here. They're tied to it. They're tied to it. But this is one person taking and not giving to the other. It needs to be equal give and take. Nickelback, gotta be somebody. So somebody here wants to be somebody that they not. But where they were gonna be somebody. You know, God tested them. God tested them, gave them a chance. Everything they wanted was given to them on a silver platter. They thought it was too good to be true. But they didn't want to hold on to it because the first place was built on a faulty foundation. So somebody was waiting for the real thing. So they keep leaving, right? They keep waiting for the next best thing when they had the next best thing. So only where you're authentic and mean it, right? So they were promised something else while they squandered, and what the last thing was taken, right? The last thing was taken. So they didn't give to that connection here that was being built, right? So they squandered their own thing, their wish. They were jealous of their own wish, right? But we know that when Dorothy was going, she Sometimes people don't see us change and happy and glow up on their journey separate. And then those people don't like it, so they got to stick their nose in it, and it's up to you to protect that doesn't get destroyed. Because you may not get that chance again. When God gives you a gift, and you believe it's too good to be true, remember in the movie Wizard of Oz, remember she said it was too good to be true. And those glass ruby slippers were something else. But you got to know where your home is, your heart, your happiness, everything is, where that lies for your desires. And you can't let somebody step in between your vision. And if you're not doing something wrong and you're worried about what somebody says about you, then you'll never reach that dream. You allowed them to stop you because of their doubts or putting doubts in your head. They may not see your vision, but you do. So a lot of successful people did, like your athletes, people like that. You have to go for it until you can't do it no more. They can't do it for you. Nobody can give it to you. Even if you steal it, you didn't get it. You didn't earn it, and you won't be able to keep it because you didn't learn how to take care of your home, your grass, your house. Remember, she said, follow the yellow brick road. So you're not following the yellow brick road. You're having all the distractions along the way. And you have to go down the road less traveled, right? But everybody wants to be with someone who cares for them truly, genuinely. And a person will show you that. So why would you give that up? Why would you risk that? So why would you want to throw it away? So there's got to be somebody for me out there. Well, when you had that person and you believed everybody else and you let it go, you think it's going to be any better than that? You will not be successful. You can't, how do I say this? You can't not finish something you started and just think that you're just going to go and just not deal with this. That's not being held accountable and closing something, You got to do things the right way. You can't just, it's like leaving the scene of an accident. Failing to render aid, that's a crime. Comical crime, what's, in this world, 3D and spiritual laws. And that's integrity. That's integrity. You don't hurt someone that's kind. Me, I'm not nice. I call that a nice guy, huh? They look nice on the outside, but they're not nice. Oh, kind. They look nice, What a nice guy that was, But they're not a kind person. They only do it for show, but behind the scenes, they don't count. 2060122. All right, Creed. The best of my sacrifice. So somebody sacrificed their own happiness. Somebody sacrificed their freedom, and somebody sacrificed their love, right? Their happiness. My sacrifice. But at the same time, what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice garbage, your south node? What are you willing to sacrifice? You ready to get on a train? You're sacrificing being stuck where you were. You ready to go on an adventure to have a life? Are you ready? Are you going to stay where you're stuck and miserable? I mean, come on. And somebody says, you gave to me. They're remembering how you was with them. All right, now. Were with me. I'm free. So somebody feels free with you, dreamer. Careless, I believe. Above all the others. will fly straight tears to my eyes, my sacrifice. All right, what else we got, Spirit? What do we got on this? See, now shares an upside. This is about a relationship. Can turn around. It's a karma wheel in an instant. So sometimes things happen in a relationship to be realized. So within yourself and within your mind, there's peace. So you got to be at peace with yourself. And then if somebody else with you, you have peace, you know, that's free. So somebody feels free and at peace when they're with you. And you're like a kid, you know, your life is like a kid. You have fun no matter what. The fool. Whoever this was a fool, right? Fool. But at the same time, you know, the color of it, you know, they had the silver tone at the beginning of this movie before the color, right? And then to say, somebody wants to say hello. So somebody wants to come back and say hello. But if you remember, at the beginning and at the end of the movie, it was silver tone, black and white. Everything's always black and white. It's either this way or it's that way. There can't be any color. Yes, you can put color, and I know for a fact you can. Because when I went to school, we did things in black and white first. And then after that, we had to put color in. Not everything's black and white. But most people want you to believe that. You can put the color in, you can add, I'm careless, I believe. Believe like a kid. Above all the lovers, brings tears to my eyes. So you're the best above all the lovers, right? This person found their life, you know? They feel free, careless, and they believe in that connection. So why would you want to give that up for a toxic past? Being held back by all of that, like we saw in the other song, right? Flyleaf, right? So obviously, whatever that is the birds, right? The crows, it's stuck to him. They're tied to him. The secrets. But somebody wants to say hello. But it looked like a young boy, you know, a teenager. You know, it's cool. All right, we're seeing how this is connecting. What else we got to have, Spirit? The fool, to me, is also always knows they're going to land on their feet because they have that confidence and belief. As long as they're authentic and have integrity, right? But they're willing to take that risk, that chance. Chance versus risk, right? You got to know the odds and the risk. But the chances means you're ready to take a chance and taking that leap of faith, right? That leap of faith. Drive. Somebody by incubus. Somebody's an incubus. But they're willing to take that drive. That is Cancer energy, Chariot. Here we go again. So we got the King of Cans. Here we go, man. This keeps landing like this. This King of Cans, look at him. He's ready to set out there with all those emotions. He's ready to chop anything in his way. Got his nifty oil can just in case things happen so he can keep moving. But if you remember, he didn't have a heart. So maybe he's in search of his heart. So somebody's fear took over. But it looks like he's thinking about it. How can you think about what's fear? False events appearing real. False emotions appear. Mask appeal. So he's really nice. He should be the one behind the wheel. Whatever tomorrow brings, I'll be there. He's not afraid. Here we go. Arms and open eyes, yeah. So you got to be welcoming it, right? Open eyes and open arms, right? I'll be there. I'll be there. I knew somebody once that took a chance like that. So somebody wants to be the chance to be a part of the hive. She's water over wine. See, blood's, they say, is thicker than water, right? But then the wine can be toxic too. But the before seems to be the... But everyone gets around. So when this person takes over and he takes the drive, not letting everybody else, appeasing everybody, pleasing everybody, when he takes control of the wheel, his life is found. Because he's a puppet, a flying monkey, a fool, in the wrong way. He's been a fool, collaborated with others. Where he's at, or she's at, there's no equal give and take. Someone's taking it all, no giving. This other person is just sitting there patiently waiting, but they're the one with the sword of truth. Choosing the water over the wine. So hold the wheel and drive. For tomorrow brings, I'll be there. Open arms and open eyes, yeah. Gotta go with open eyes, right? And open arms. You gotta welcome it. If you're afraid, yeah. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. How you doing over there, unicorn? Moon dust. Do-do-do-do-do. All right, what else we got, Spirit? But somebody's been an incubus. Here we go. A taker. Taker, an incubus. That's usually a man. Incubus is a man and a woman's a succubus. Just taking, 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 and never giving back. Somebody's taking pictures, selfies. Oh, Lord. Ha, ha, ha. Somebody's taking selfies. I hope they're good selfies. Somebody's drinking tonight. Wine, beer. This song is on here. It's funny. 1-1-6-1-1-3-1. 70 degrees tonight. Partly cloudy. Here we go. Pushing me away. Ooh, Lincoln Park. Somebody's pushing or pushed you away. Because they ain't dealing with their emotions, right? The frequency of this song is very erratic. Lincoln Park is heavy metal. He says, I've lied to you. Same way they always do. So somebody's lying about how they truly feel, and they push people away. Life for a lifestyle to appear. Or they'd have to give, or they would have to give up their lifestyle to be and sacrifice. Here we go. This is a player that played himself this way. So this is pushing him away from his life, right? Keeps playing himself, so he figured out he played himself. He allowed his He allowed this masculine energy, allowed himself to lose his spot in his own life. Went back to the old ways. Lives a double life. So somebody's willing to take the blame this time for being with you. So he's hiding in a lie. I saw this ever going. Why they treat themselves that way? Wow. So this is pushing him away from his own love and life. Wow, this masculine energy. So he's being testing him. Check that song out. Pushing. The sacrifice of hiding in a lie. What did he sacrifice, I wonder? Maybe his freedom. His freedom. Freedom is peace. Why I played myself this way. Tempting me. What I see is tempting me, so they gotta wonder, and I'm easily tempted. Why I played myself this way. Now I see they're testing me. All right, what do we got, Spirit? What about this 3 of bricks collaboration? What is the collaboration, Spirit? What is the collaboration? Oh, we got one. Ooh. We got the hangman. Now, in here, if you look, here they're kind of in suspension, but if you look at this, all right, they're not hanging upside down anymore. They're not in hangman. They've been enlightened, right? But if you look, he's losing his shadow or his dark side. He's fighting with it. He's trying to hold on, right? Here we go, a heart. Foo Fighters, one by one, times like these. See that? Look at that. That's his shadow, the scarecrow. His true identity. Remember, the scarecrow was a costume. In the beginning, he was his authentic self in there. And later on, he was a scarecrow, right? He wanted a brain. He wasn't thinking. Thought he was smart, maybe, I don't know. Outsmarted himself. But it's breaking, right? That board that he was holding. Okay, so, you know, the costume is who he is, the mask, the costume, the inauthentic is coming off. And he has to reveal who he is. And he was always smart, but he didn't use his intuition. Okay? So he's the hangman in reverse, or wants to be. You know, and he's sitting here, and it's funny because you see the scarecrow, the costume, right? He's got his hands out here, right? He's being disconnected, he's fragmented. But if you look here, he's got his hands in his pockets. Maybe he took something. Okay? He's not trying to hold on to it. He's got his hands in his pocket. He probably did that for money. You know, that's the devil energy. Superficial crap. The mask. He wants to be seen as himself. And not only that, the hat's off. You know, the crown. He's lost his crown. Position. Status. Hat's off. But if you look on here too, I'm seeing it. On here you've got the, they call it the triple cross, okay? If y'all look at it as the triple cross, right? But it was also the heart, so the courage to take the mask off and to be find his heart. It's, time's ticking. His heart. He was the cowardly lion trying to pretend to be a king of the jungle. Doesn't have the courage, and a coward, it's not good to be his authentic self because he's worried about losing people that don't support him. And he didn't think he had the courage, right? He was always scared, always in the shadows, always following. But here, he's the scarecrow. We had the crows in that song, Flyleaf, right? With the crows connected to the guy. So these times he has to learn to live again. You gotta give again. So he's gotta learn to love again. Gotta learn to love. So it's amazing that in here, it's a scarecrow. He needed a brain, right? He was looking for a brain. But you got the heart of the Tin Man and the triple courage, right, of the lion. So this person is all three in one. Okay. Didn't use his intuition, didn't use his heart, and had no courage. If you can't stand for something, you will fall for anything. And being a follower or a people pleaser because you're afraid to lose the people that really ain't there and got your back, Dorothy had their backs, right? And she risked it to help them so she could get home, right? And she loved them in the end, right? That wizard guy was gone, the one that was pulling all the strings and this and that was fake. He was gone in this hot air balloon, right? Here we go, fall to pieces. Somebody's falling to pieces with velvet revolver. Ooh. Yeah, and you look at that, this is kind of like, the dancer or the gunslinger, either way. It's been a while since you've been gone. Somebody's falling to pieces. Somebody's lone. Okay. So getting back to where was I? So somebody found the pieces, but they're still falling. So somebody's falling down. And they are by themselves, right? Okay, so, yeah, and in the end, she felt like she knew them, that was their soulmates, right? And Toto had took off, so she had to jump out of the hot air balloon to get back to Kansas, right? So how he got there to begin with was he was in a hot air balloon, but he didn't know how to bring it down. So he was flying high, So she said goodbye to them. They felt like family to her. And she stood behind them, and they all went through that together. But she still wanted to go home, where she felt home was. That was her love, right? And so she was willing to say goodbye, to sacrifice. Of course, when she got back, she was so excited, right? And the wizard was worried about her, he was, when he first met her. All alone, I fall to pieces. What about this 6 of bricks? This, 6 of pentacles, give and take, reciprocation, balance. This needed balance, whatever it was. Somebody's looking for you. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Let me. Somebody's falling from grace or falling down. They're falling to pieces. The whole world's falling to pieces. Their shadow is disconnecting. They're fragmented. Their courage, their heart, and their mental state, right? They're falling to pieces. So when somebody's alone, they fall to pieces, but that's because they're afraid to commit. Afraid of rejection or afraid of abandonment, but they're causing it. They're causing it for their own selves. Maybe it's the way they were raised, right? You know, Dorothy's home, family. We'll see here in a minute. Whoever they're collaborating with. You know, looking, you know, taking and they never get back to their own legacy. Waiting for somebody else's legacy. Can't wait for somebody else's legacy. Each individual person has their legacy. Excuse me. What will you be remembered for? What will you be known for? Huh? Ooh. What they got here? Oh, this is an empress. You remember Dorothy? We talked about it. She was looking for, you know, NEM. We got headstrong. So somebody was trapped. Ooh, they're trapped in their head. Ooh, memories. So we got their, they didn't give and take equally with their empress, or they want to give it. Decisions to hide motives. So somebody wants to take you on, but somebody knows you're headstrong and you can take on anyone, right? But they didn't give and take to the empress, or maybe giving it to somebody else, but that's their empress. Somebody gave everything away. He's saying I threw everything away. Wow. Threw his empress away. The empress is everything. This person was stubborn, right? Decisions to hide. Well, hi, truck. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming back. Welcome aboard. I can't give everything away. This is not where you belong, he says, where he was, or gave everything away. So somebody doesn't want to bust your motive inside with your decisions you hide. So somebody's saying, back off, I'll take you on. Okay, so we got the Eight of Spears. Somebody is either going to jail or spiritual jail. They feel like they're tied up. You know, they're bound. They're not. They can always make it right. They can always change the other foot, switch the foot. Do the right thing. Go towards your desires, right? It's just an illusion. Whatever this, maybe somebody being blackmailed or... Hold on a second. I'm not going back. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Miscommunication. Oh, man. Sometimes you just gotta do things yourself. Okay? All right. Okay, like it's... We are breath breaking Benjamin. Maybe somebody's name is Benjamin. First, middle, or last. He self-sacrificed himself. Hold on a second. Somebody's got a hole in their heart. Fight just to make it through. So it's going to be the death of you. Self-sacrifice. Okay, so this fool okay, so this was on top of this, right? So if you look at that, this person was a fool, or is being a fool in their mind. I will be the death of you. Okay. It has been a wild truck, hasn't it? All right. Numb. Somebody is numb. Whatever this is, it ain't right. Somebody's numb in Lincoln Park. So somebody's tired of being what other people want them to be. Just under the surface. Can't live up to the expectations. They're under pressure. Somebody's trying to walk in somebody else's shoes, or Cinderella. Every step they're taking, somebody doesn't feel like they live up a mistake, right? Every step they take a mistake. So now they're numb to who they are. Confusion. So somebody's trying to be like somebody else instead of themselves. Afraid of losing control. They're not living up. So somebody's not being able to live up to somebody else's expectations. So everything they're doing, they're making a mistake to them. This person just keeps making mistakes, and this person's criticizing them. That it's not ever enough. They'll never measure up. They can't live up to somebody else. They're becoming into something they're not want to be. They want to be their authentic self. So they end up like disappointed in you, you know? So they keep going to the same person and doing the same thing over and over. And then this is like being like a parent, maybe just like them. And they want to be more like themselves than somebody else. People pleasing, like I said. Wow, spirits in the house. I can't be what you want me to be. Maybe this person's having a conversation. And they keep making mistakes because they can't be that person or in that person's shoes. 2074113. It's nice to see y'all. Y'all put some hearts in there if y'all are enjoying the show. I would appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up, guys. We've had 74 views in here. We got 2 right now, but that's okay. It'll catch up. It will catch up. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If y'all are enjoying it, yes. We're getting deep here today. We is getting deep. I'll pull some more here in a minute. On the other deck, see what we got. All right, what we got? Ooh. You know, sometimes the Capricorn energy, you know, the devil, you know, it's like 2 people are tied together. bound, you know. But this person wants to be released. They're trying to come out of that energy that they've been stuck in, what we've just been talked to. If you can see, he's ready to be himself. He's ready to set out. You know, he's the warrior. He's got his axe ready. You know, all of that. He's ready to release that toxicity of being like somebody else, what they want them to be, right? They want to be more like themselves. But if you look at that, she's like, here we go. Look at this one. You can see another one again. Learn to fly. Foo Fighters. There we go. Right. Okay, it's a good song. Go check it out. But if you look, these two people, maybe it's a man and a woman. It's a wife, ex-wife, or a sibling, you know, somebody at work, you know, brother, sister, mother, father. But if you look at that. They both have, this is what they look like on the outside, right? They still look kind of, this one guy just looks like, you know, he's just being blown out of the wind, right? And then she's looking at this man at the moment. But, you know, if you look at her, I mean, she's got that basket. Maybe she made him an offer. I don't know, because we got this here, giving, right? Come in and see what I got in my basket, you pretty. You know? But she made an offer, probably. But look at the back. But really, underneath, she's that witch, right? That dark witch. And then he's scared of this witch. But somebody wants one last try. That's a good song. You need to go listen to it. So this person wants to try again and live happy ever after. You know, everything's going to be all right. Making his way back home, you know, inside who he is, maybe, you know. I want to get back home where I'll learn to fly. Feel like making love. Trying to make this life I own fly. He can't make it alone, doesn't want to. All right, one more. What do we got about this hangman and the collaboration? Somebody's looking for a sign of life. Oh, okay, I got this. Somebody's looking for a reason. Come on, light me one up, guys. So, like we earlier, looking to get home. So Dorothy's looking to find her way. Something's looking, this person's looking for, trying to get out of the complication. Looking because I'm tired of trying. They're trying to make their way back home. Wherever his home is, he's wanting to make his way back home so he can learn to fly. Okay, so here we go. The Hierophant symbolizes tradition, churches, you know, our home environment, what traditions where we're taught, you know, our religious beliefs, right? Home, here we go. I can't make it up. Daughtry. Oh, wow. Spirit's talking. Okay. So we got, so somebody's looking out the window, staring at the night. So somebody's hiding their pain. Feeling good don't ever cost a thing. And the pain you feel is a different kind of pain. Home. Stay where I belong. Going where he's belong. He's thinking about it. Ooh, it's giving me chills. And that love has been enough for him. Not running from. They got me all wrong. I don't regret this life I chose for me. So wherever they are, these faces that they've been around that they didn't know. They're surrounded by, they didn't know. So they're going home. They want to go home. Okay, the Hierophant is like a religious leader. So in the reverse, their morals, ethics, and principles have been tested. I mean, you see here with the courage and the heart, and there too. So somebody wants to get closer to you, closer. So whatever they've learned, they found out that it was a facade. That's a song. Check it out. So they don't know why. So you always seem to give me another try. So obviously, whoever you are, dreamers, you gave them a chance, right? I'm going home, but to the place to where I belong. And your love has always been enough for them. I'm not running from. I don't regret this life he chose for me. Which he's talking to God, right? And the places where they're at is getting old. Same old, right? Okay. Be careful what you wish for. Because you just might get it all. Too good to be true. You might have just got it all. Play that one ticket, you just might win. It only takes one. So when you pray for something for years, you know, some things I prayed for, it took years to get it. And I remember that wish. And karma doesn't always, you know, it takes time, years sometimes. You know, because things, you have to have patience and they take time. But sometimes karma happens instantly, and sometimes we think it does. It's just we forgot about something and it just finally hit. I don't regret this life I chose for me. But wherever they're at, these faces and places are getting old. Places in these faces are getting old. So I'm going home. Home is where the heart is. Where your true love is. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So somebody wants to, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. Spirits in the house. I love it. I love how this works. If y'all love how this works, give me some 100s. Y'all forgive me. Trying not to take a break. I've been having a little bit of a cold because of the weather change. Just going through a lot, working hard and staying busy. Well, what I call work, you know. All her fault. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, y'all see that? All her fault. Somebody's blaming somebody. Gotta stop that. No, nobody can make you choose nothing. Oh my God, here we go. Here we go. It's all your fault. I will do whatever it takes to get Toto back. Somebody's a peacock. We know about a peacock, right? Ego. Champagne by Cavo. Here we go with somebody walking alone. All alone in that big old city. All right, what do we got for the Empress? What do we got for the Empress? You know, somebody could have been lied to, you know, illusions, but they want to come out of that. Somebody seems so low in their eyes, inside of you. Somebody's lost their mind. Somebody's cocaine, is that what it is? Coca? Ricky Skiles, hey baby. I am. How are you, darling? Hope things are better for you. I hope things are better for you. I feel for you, dude. I've been there, okay? Somebody misses you. Somebody screaming inside out, right? Somebody said, don't tempt me, I'll break you. So somebody's ready to burn something down. Somebody was tempted just because somebody looked at them. Boy. Somebody had a bad day. Here we go. You know, this is kind of like an argument they're having, right? It's her fault. Somebody tempted somebody and they're blaming them. But here we go. The 5 of Wands. So somebody's battling, you know, with addictions. Somebody's blind. They cannot see. Their eyes weren't open. So now they feel stuck, right? They feel stoked. So somebody says we're true. It could have been looked away. You know, somebody's saying it could have been anything, you know. Could have been the way you looked at me. So miscommunication, right? Or they think so. So we got the 5 of brooms. They're battling, right? They got all these brooms. Which one is it? You know, there's 2 that look like this. You know, the same. And then there's 3. Wise man couldn't cut it as a poor man stealing. Like a blind man. Nickelback. How you remind me. This is how you remind me. Somebody's throwing something in somebody's face. You remind me of what I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am. Like what you say sorry. So this person knows how to say sorry. Changing a different story. Mistaken. For handing you a hardwood breaking. And down to the bottom of every bottle. So somebody's been down to the bottom of every bottle. All right. I'm glad your head's in a better place, honey. I hope you hear. So somebody's talking, it's not like you didn't know it. So this person's taking responsibilities, So you are mirrored to this person, and this is how you're reminding me, right? So I really am. So you are mirrored to this person. Mistaken. So they feel sorry for breaking your heart or treating you like that. So, you know, this person's yelling for you, right? This is that battle right there. You know what I'm saying? It must have been hard living with me that way. I must have given you, so it's like an apology. Okay? But this is over the top of no give and take. Somebody took and didn't give back, right? To their empress or emperor. Okay? And wherever they are now, it's not a good place, you know? Or it wasn't. Never made it as a wise man, as a poor man stealing. This is how you remind me. The scarecrow never made it as a wise man. And this is how you remind me. So it's like maybe they had a misunderstanding. They don't know how to communicate. You know what I'm saying? You're a mirror to them. You're calling them out. It's not like you to say sorry. Somebody's waiting for a lie, a different story. But this time, maybe they hurt. For handing you a heart worth breaking. So why would somebody say, oh, I'm sorry, let me make it up to you for you breaking my heart? Nobody's going to say sorry for that. 3078144. 144. Okay, what is the 8 of spears? The 8 of swords, Spirit? Why are they stuck in the head? Because they were a fool. Or, you know, things were black and white until the reality, right? And somebody's crying. You know, that album had tears. Maybe somebody's got blue eyes too. They're crying because their heart is breaking. Maybe they broke their own heart. Kind of hard to break a whole heart. You can bruise it, you can betray it, but you can't break a whole heart. Because a person that's always got a heart is going to keep having it. If they didn't have one to begin with, you know? But they did have one. They just had to find it. You know, to be kind is having a heart. To be unkind is not. So they got to find their heart again. Their happiness, their self-love. Okay. All right, what do we got? What do we got? On the reason for the mental state or the bondage. Alive by P-O-D, by pod. Every day's a new day. So somebody needs to be grateful to live in the moment. Learn from my mistakes, don't take you for granted. Boy, thank you, Spirit. So somebody says you gave peace of mind. They feel so alive. They feel alive now for the very first time. They was in denial. If they break out of that mental fog, so they think they can fly, they're in love for the first time. Hey. So he wants to tell the world how he feels inside. He's ready to tell everybody. You don't care. Okay. So they see you. How can I look away? Here we go. So the 8 of bricks, they want to rebuild and work on something. They can. They can't deny you anymore. For themselves, their heart, their love. They feel so alive. For the very first time. Now this is a message here. Let me put this back, but it's in reverse. Maybe they want to give a message or they're not sure. Let's ask again, Spirit. What is the devil in reverse? They want to come out of that devil energy or unmask themselves. Can never turn my back away. They see you. I can't look away anymore. Now that I know you, I can never turn my back away. I don't believe in what they say now that I see you. Well, there you go, listening to gossip, right? Or the lies. what they were told, what they believe, the traditions, or the conditions, the programming. So now they think they can fly, or they want to fly, but they feel alive for the very first time. Excuse the noise, guys. I think I can fly. Maybe I'm Superman. Maybe you're Superman. All right, who we got? The Remedy by Sida. Well, see, that looks like they're connected, right? They look like a robot, but look at the person's eyes, right? It's dark. It's hard to see that. They're soulless. Leave your thrills all here with me. Speak, but don't pretend. I won't defend you. So somebody won't defend somebody anymore. Somebody's tied along, but tied. So somebody just leave them where they lie. We go back to the so-called remedy, or what we were. So somebody's far away, they need to bend. Clip the wings that get you high. Leave them where they lie. So somebody is got an addiction, X addiction. But that thrills. Just leave them where they lie, man. Okay. Okay, what do we got about this person that's searching, right? And trying to come out of that reckless energy. All right. The moon. They're trying to weigh their options, but you know, the moon is Cancerian energy. It's also Chariot energy. Moving forward, they're thinking about it, right? So we always feel like we're going back to the remedy because we're afraid of fail. You can really, really hide, right? But the secrets are right there, right? It's right on that fence, right? They put somebody up on the shelf. You see that? That monkey's on the shelf. It's a wooden monkey. Lion monkey. Right? And you got the little monkeys on the bottom, right? And that's the pedestal, right? And here it is, that big crystal ball, the seer, right? They're trying to have their eyes closed. The seer, right? The seer can see everything, the secrets, right? Maybe somebody's got a nice refrigerator full of food. Okay, maybe somebody likes tools. But if you look at that, you know, there's a pedestal. Somebody's a seer. They can see those secrets. Or the secrets are coming out. Right on the edge. Maybe somebody wants to speak and tell the truth. Okay. All right. What else we got, Spirit? I want to pull some other cards. I love this deck. Ooh, lips of an angel. Hinder. Look at that. Yep, we can see what somebody's doing. I just said that a minute ago. So, somebody talked to you as an angel, right? Pillow talk. Captain Save a 304. So somebody's right next to their person. Their girl's in the next room, so they're cheating. I wish she was you. They're thinking about you. Somebody hasn't moved on because their voice saying my name sounds so sweet. Lips of an angel. Words makes me weak. Somebody doesn't want to say goodbye. To be faithful. They were tempted. Of an angel. Well, we can see this person probably likes to be tempted. Somebody said, it's funny you calling me. Somebody's reaching out. Maybe somebody likes red. I know it's my favorite color. Does he know you talking to me? So this person may be married too. So somebody wishes they with you. So I guess we really never moved on. So maybe they're talking to an ex. Somebody's married or somebody is married. So sweet. From the lips of an angel. Those words you think. So this is extreme behavior. Somebody doesn't want to say goodbye. It hard to be faithful. So somebody's tempted or was tempted. Looks like two people are married or in a relationship. Not good. So somebody might have been laying next to you, talking to somebody else while you were sleeping or in the other room. Maybe that person gave good BJs, you know? You ever want to say goodbye? To be faithful. Hard to be faithful. Maybe they were tempted. Maybe this person was married when you met him. Why you calling, honey? Why you calling me? Why you calling me so late? Captain Taylor Ho in this dress. Burn It to the Ground by Nickelback. Somebody's gonna burn it to the ground. All right. One more on these cards, and we'll pull some other ones. Let's see what's going on. Let's go ahead and pull. Let's see what the situation is about here. It's midnight. Wound up too tight. And they're drunk. The bottle just bit me. That spit makes me bat spit crazy. Partying. Somebody partying tonight. We're going out tonight. To do everything in sight. This person's partying. Well, I guess with the lips of an angel, huh? Red Light District. I should have brought out my red stiletto Michael Kors. I was looking for them, but I was like, I was gonna use them for a prop on the show. They ain't got no class. All right now. I didn't say anything to you. All right, what do we got, Spirit? Anything good? What's going on with the situation? Take everything inside. Get everything we want. We burn it to the ground. What do we got? What do we got, Spirit? Give me some cards. Give me a card. All right, guys, it's Saturday Night Live session. Anybody want some cards read tonight? Let me know or forever hold your peace. Somebody's ticking like a time bomb. So people are just going out and doing wild. You still there, Moon Dust? What do we got, Spirit? Anything on this situation? Anything to tell us? Thank you. Sword arose. Clarity and truth revelations. Honor and protection. Determination. So this person is going to do that. They want to do that. They're determined. And we know that the sword, I have a sword and a rose tattoo. Might resonate. Somebody might have a tattoo with that. Red. Here we go with the red again. But you know, the sword is beauty, but it also can hurt with the sword of truth, right? So somebody's going to get clarity and truth or made a revelation. They want to do honor and protect. Maybe they lost their honor. But their determination. Okay. All right, what else we got, Spirit? And around Christmas tree, Christmas is you. All right, It's Been a While by Stain. Break the cycle. Somebody needs to break this cycle. Family curse, huh? Sounds like it. It's been a while since I've hold my head up high and have honor. It's been a while since somebody's seen you. Hello. How you doing, Deepak? On 2 feet again. Been a while. Oh, you. It's been a while since I could call you. Maybe somebody's going to call you. But everything they were thinking about, they can't remember what they want to say. It's messed up as it all may seem, but that's not what he said. So the consequences of their actions are rendered. The ship. Ship. Been a while since I could say that I wasn't addicted. Cutting ties, moving on, receive what you need, progression and arriving. So maybe your ships are going to come in. Or they want their ships to come in. They're cutting ties with this karmic crap. Thank you. So when he's with you, or they're with you, you know, things are better. Cutting ties. Receiving what you need. Maybe somebody wants to give you what you need. You know, finally with the reciprocation here, you know. Princes are rendered. So they're trying to make up for the consequences that they rendered. Okay, so not enough. Lacking confidence, self-sabotage, ego and fear, frustrations, and it's in reverse. So they didn't feel good enough or not enough or unsatisfied, but they're trying to, they want to stop that. You know, if you don't feel satisfied and take care of your grass, always think there's something better out there, right? Hello, Lisa. You know what happens? You sabotage everything. Non-committal. If you don't commit to whatever you start or give it your all, your best, it's not going to flourish. Okay, so here's the other one. Okay? So somebody wants to apologize. The death card. The relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform. What's dead is dead. But it's in the reverse. They're hoping it's not. They want to resurrect it, transform it. They want to, you know, this person's also thinking about the way you taste. Everything I can't remember. They want, it's like those things are fading. So they can't blame it on their father, their parents. They had a choice. The best thing come from me. The best things come from me. What they do. My head up high. Been a while. So I said I'm sorry. This person doesn't know how to, you know. They just think they can do that. You know, they don't know how to say they're sorry. They can't blame their decisions on their parents. I know I never did. Holiday. Green Day. So somebody's holding their heart or want to extend that heart. Well, if you look at it, they squeeze the blood out of it. So that would be like the cups. You know, the cup, the ace of cups, okay? So he's saying that those that die without a name, their legacy. Okay, and here we go, blowing kisses. Unconditional love, giving and receiving, fairness and love, affection in return. There you go, that's what they needed to do, right? Where's it at? Where's it at? That was at the bottom of the deck. That's that offer of love. They broke their own heart. They squeezed the blood out of it. So what they did was God gave them a gift, right? And they spit it. They poured it out. Oh, well, thank you, Lisa. You love that video that I did with my friends? Yes, those are family people. Give and take. You know, if you have to go back to the beginning of the video, that's fine. Okay? The Hall of Lies. Okay, so on holiday, the rest of our lives, this person wants to be on holiday, like they're on holiday for the rest of their lives. They just feel like their heart is being squeezed. You know, every ounce of blood is just being squeezed out. You know, God gave them that gift, and that was early in one of the songs too. You know, that, you know, God gave them everything. It was too good to be true. It was right in front of their face, in plain sight. You know, the karma that, you know, you can get good karma. You know, when you pray for something for so long, your heart yearns for something. You don't know how to get it, but we think it's other people, right? And sometimes it is when we listen to the wrong people or please the wrong people, right? We don't follow our heart or desire. When we come into this world, you come in alone, even though somebody catches you, but it's your journey, right? So you have to be authentic to your soul. Our dreams aren't somebody else's. They're ours. And we can't let that stand in the way of our purpose. So I know what my purpose is, and a lot of people have a hard time figuring that out, right? And every time I deter from that, then I suffer because I'm not obeying what I was brought here to do. We're born with a name, a religion, and a race. Judgment, all that. Okay? That's not who we are. It's not. It's not who we are. That's why you have to leave. Where is it at? Those places so you can grow. Because we learn things and not understand things when we're young. Not all black sheep are the bad ones. They get a chance to go and grow. If you are a Christian, then you should listen to what is being said. Understand it. Okay? Understand it. Don't understand it. That means you're lacking. You're not getting it. Right? So if you're going to say that you are a Christian, and you go to church and all that, you know, then are you just sitting there sleeping or what? You know, go to Bible study. But make sure who's teaching it. Because this is a false leader. Me, when I read something, I thoroughly try to understand it because each word placed in a sentence means something totally different. When they're writing laws, the words have to be specific. I think Margaret Thatcher took months to sign off something because the word wasn't right. For that law, okay, 3088219. Here we go with that 3, and 88 is infinity, right? Okay. I will not bow down. There you go. Stand your ground. Breaking Benjamin. Somebody's name is Benjamin, and it's breaking them. Don't bow, right? Come out of it. You know, your family will love you. They're not going to totally leave you. You know, they won't. But anybody that doesn't want you to be happy in your life, you know, that you have to be conditioned. Or this is just the way it is. No, that is restraint. My kids, I want them to be happy, even if I'm not, I see things that I can't say. I don't like to see my kids unhappy. But it's ultimately their choices, right? They will learn sooner or later. But at the same time, I'm not going to be controlled either. If I'm not doing anything wrong, it's just something somebody doesn't like. Or they want something of mine. I can't please everybody. That will get you hurt. You can't be fake. I mean, we do have to wear a lot of hats, but your basic core should be the same. Your principles, your morals, your ethics, your integrity, your uniqueness, because you have gifts. Period. I'm not living somebody else's life. I want to live mine. And if they can't even control theirs or run theirs, how are they going to run mine? They can't control their environment. They please everybody else, but they don't do for themselves. They don't make themselves happy. You know? I will not fall. I will not fade. I will stand up for who I am. I am. Doesn't it say that? That's what the word means in the Bible. I am. I am, always will be, and can never be destroyed. I'm made in his image, right? Alpha and Omega. My soul cannot be destroyed unless I give it away. The devil can take this, but he cannot take my will. Somebody can blackmail you, they can extort you, they can lie on you. You know, they can threaten you, they can do all these things, but it's not by your free will. Unless you decide to, it's your choice. So if you don't stand for yourself, you ain't gonna stand for anything. That's what they call, you know, what was that, the Hunger Games? You know, taking the, you know, jab, and, you know, if you're gonna not stand for what you believe in or what feels right to you, as long as it's not harmful and you're not lying about it, you know, so you don't lose yourself. Wearing a mask all the time. Hey, did we learn anything during the pandemic? We didn't want to wear that mask. Hiding behind something or people. Hiding, you know, hiding behind the lies. Can't stop. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, you look at this, right? Just look at this girl. She looks like glass or ice, right? Transparency, people. I'm a very private individual. Why would I want to keep secrets? The only secrets I hold is things that I know about others, right? Don't like the imitation, but that's still trans. Complete the motion even if you stumble. You know, if you stumble, you make a mistake, don't give up. Being a part of the way. There's a lot of us out here, people. You know, crazy to me is somebody like a fireman going into a burning building when other people are running out. That's crazy, you know? But they're willing to do that to save lives. Police officers, you know, the music is a great communicator. Thank you for Spirit. You know, like, you know, people... This is a good song about this generational curse here. You know, the people, the inventors, you know, people that go for their dreams. To me, that's crazy. They're unusual, but not in a negative sense, you know? So people use words with negative energy. All right, here we go. Coffin, new beginnings, liberation, reborn, and transition, tragic endings. So somebody doesn't want this to end. They don't want it to be the death of them. And if you don't follow your dreams and be happy and you're trying to please other people, you know, loyalties or whatever, they're not doing that for you. And it's this person wants to come out of that coffin. I know somebody put me in one, literally. Really. That's what it felt like to me. Where's that other one? Put me up on a shelf. That's not the first time. You putting your dream, your life on a shelf. And then don't even dust it. But this person, it doesn't change. They're going to be in this coffin. No new beginnings, no liberation, no rebirth, no transformation, no new beginnings. Tragic endings. They don't want that. Somebody's addicted to the shindig. Choose not to life of imitation. Heck yeah, I believe that. Get what you pay for. And that's the same thing too. Somebody needs to the west end, not the east end. All right, let's go. I might take a little break for a little while, guys, and come back on if y'all want. I'll do it. Somebody's saying interfering. Somebody's been interfering. You know, I gave up a lot of my dreams to take care of obligations. And, you know, like I said, I got to the point where, you know, I'm not here to please everybody. I'm not here to be a toy. I'm not here to be used and abused. And there's more ways to do that. To be denied your basic needs. To be called a slave. You know, would you like that? You know, I've asked people, how would you handle it if somebody treated you like that? Really? You deserve to work for 10 or 15 years and not even get a paycheck. Oh, well, you work for it, but I deserve it. You can't have anything. You can't even have a pair of jeans. Yeah, okay. So they get into another relationship, maybe, where they get GPS and they get an allowance. So be careful what you wish for somebody else. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That kind of trouble, man, is talk about a ball and chain. Ball and chain. They don't even want to fight no more. You know, they give in. You know, they become the puppet. No. You know, I've been gone through quite a few relationships. That's why I'm independent. Because I depended on them and they wasn't there. So, you know, I've become independent or I fix people's issues. I've done a lot of things. Torn, I'm sorry, by Creed. Somebody's, look at that. They torn. Where's that? Where's that at? Right there. Look at that. You got that one. You got this one. Where's the other one? Look at that one. All these cards right here. Somebody's just sitting there with their head. They're desperate. Hello? Desperate. Right? Look at that. Look at those cards, man. Why don't they tell me lies? The spies. They're trying to control man. The spies are trying to control man. Peace is dead. But like I was saying earlier, you know, my happiness and my peace is valuable. And I deserve what I work for. I deserve to have my dreams. You know, somebody said one time, you can't be a president. I've been a president. I've been a vice president. I've been in politics. It could have been just in a small level, but I've been a president in my own company. I have been, sorry about that, I have been a president of a nonprofit. So what makes you think I can't be a president of the United States if I wanted to? I've already done it. Hey, So don't tell me that, you know. I've been an artist. I am an artist. I've been a writer. I've worked in politics. I've wrote laws. Help write laws. You know, they got people that do that. They write the laws. They got to come up with the laws for these senators and congressmen. Where do you think they get them? Everyday, ordinary people. You know, I mean, if you want to get the best, you go to the schools. They give you the projects. So, you know, I don't have to have people, I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. I've done it. That's why they say it's wisdom. It's experience. You can't change it. You can't change your experience. You can learn more. You can unlearn something, which is knowledge. You can seek knowledge, right? I always say that. Seek the light, be the light, and show what you've got. Show what you've learned. Be proud of that. You know? I want my kids, my grandkids to do better than I did. I want my kids to be happy. When I don't see them happy, it does break my heart for them. But sometimes you can't teach them anything. You know, it's right in front of their face. You have to let them learn it, right? You see things, you don't say nothing. You know, you have to let them make those choices, right? But I wish that for them. You know, I wish them a good life. Even, you know, the ups and downs. You know, they got to have lessons. If everything was always good, you wouldn't grow. You know, we come here. We have a mission until we find our true selves and what we want, but people have to support you. If they don't support you, they ain't there for you. When you need them, you know who your family is. If they're not there, they need to figure out why, you know, because you're a gift. They know that for sure. They know that for sure. But you're also a mirror to them because you're different, right? Here we go. All right. The decadence, abruption, it's in the reverse. So things are stagnant, right? The decadence, beautiful things, right? Somebody wants those things, right? But if you look, the decadence, let me see what it says in the book. It's been a while since I've read this one. Oh, where's it at? Where's the book? Oh, give me a second, guys. I saw it a minute ago. I saw it over there. Here we go. Okay, the decadence. It's been a while, y'all. Forgive me, you know? I'm only human. Or am I? Yay. I met an interesting young man today. He looked like Harry Potter. And he gave me a hug, you know? I've been getting so many hugs lately. It's amazing when you start giving yourself love, you get them back, you know? You know, it doesn't always have to be, you know, actual, you know, that kind of thing. Love is all kind of things. You can hug yourself, you know, you can date yourself, you can take yourself out to eat. All right, text templates. 16. I love the artists in these books, you know, when they write these things. And it's amazing, like the songs, they have meaning. To me, I learned about pictures, okay? And the decadence, beauty. Somebody likes beautiful things. Maybe they're losing them, I don't know. Second chance, shine down, open wide. Look at those crow. Oh, somebody's crying. Somebody's having a hard time making through the day. Somebody's watching the world outside. Look at those crows there. You know, crows are the messengers. See, for your Haley's coming. Somebody's just running in place. You made the man in the mood disappear. You just running in place. My mother, tell my father, I've done the best I can. So somebody's trying to make them realize this is my life. Somebody's coming out, man. They need to understand. I'm not angry. I'm just saying. Sometimes a goodbye is a second chance. Somebody wants a second chance. We've been talking about this. Go back to the beginning if you're just showing up. I'm going to take a little break here. This is one of my one and only voice. I just saw Haley's comment, you know, wish away. So, why are you always running in place? You are the man in the mirror, making the man and the moon in the mirror disappear. Somewhere in the stratosphere. My mother, tell my father. See what I'm saying? I'm wishing the best for my kids. When we pass, we want to be above our kids because they're below us here. We want them to be here. We want to precede them, right? And that's why is a second chance. So somebody's having trouble with the issues of the way they were raised and finding out who they are. You know, they can't do that anymore, you know. Here's my chance to find me. This is my chance to my happiness. You are? Oh, wow. Universal Energy Circle. I'm glad you were going to do it. I'm glad you do it. You're graduating. You know, that's the day after my birthday. Congratulations, baby. Oh, that makes me so happy. Oh my gosh. I remember when I graduated, but it took me 5 years to walk across the stage because somebody didn't give me the mail, and I got my neck broke by somebody that wasn't very nice, or that wasn't very kind. And I got to walk 5 years later, and they let me do that. You know, they found out what happened, and, you know, they let me walk across the stage 5 years later. So I made it, and that's what I said. Nobody can say I didn't, you know. So it was awesome. And I had honors, but I didn't get it in time and didn't know in time to where I could wear the sash in Phi Theta Kappa. So, oh, flowers to you too, baby. You can do anything you put your mind to, and you don't have to just do one thing. You know? The world is your oyster, baby. If you put your mind to it, don't ever let nobody stop you. If they try to, they're not your family. They're just a relative, and they're not your friend. They're a hater. You know, only people that tell you good things and uplift you, you know, they're there for you. They want the best for you, you know? And sometimes they aren't there. You have to do it for yourself. At least if they ain't there, they ain't in your way, you know what I mean? They're not in your way. They're just, you know, not there supportive. There's a lot of ways to be supportive. 3 swords down. Let me rock, go. One more kiss could be the best thing. Oh. One more lie could be the worst. So somebody needs to come forward. So somebody's thoughts are never resting. Okay. Let's go with the decadence here. So somebody's only thinking of you. Okay, reverse. When reversed, this card is telling you that you are not understanding the gravity of a problem that has been circling you, like karma, or standing in the same treadmill. You might love me, but you don't know who I am. That's what he says, you know. So let me go. By not taking this situation into consideration, it will only become worse than it already is. Man, Spirit speaking. Somebody said they turned their back on loving you. How can this love be a good thing? I know what I'm going through. And world falls on me. And in this world, there's real and make-believe. And this seems real to you, the love or this world inside, right? You love me, but you don't. You love me, but you don't know who I am. Don't know where you don't know who I am. So let me go. You don't know who I am, so let me go. You love me, but you don't know who I am, so they're probably trying to find the person that does. How are you doing, Sky Blessings? I smoke, so if you don't like it, turn it off. This is for adults only. I'm kind of outside anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's your first time here, Sky? I need some tea anyway. My throat's a little dry. Are you fine? Yes. This your first time here? Well, welcome aboard the train. This train gets you to who you are, not what anybody else wants you to be. You don't have to be just one thing. You know, you can be a chef, you can be an artist, you can be a writer. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be what your parents want you to be or somebody else wants you to be. If you're doing something good and productive, you know, we come into this world, even though we're a part of a community, you still have to be interdependent of it in order for that community to grow. Okay? So if everybody wants to be a follower, who's the dang leader? So if we're just following that leader and that leader isn't have talents either to be able to lead and delegate, then you only got the sheep following. Can you? All right, Evanescence, bring me to life. Somebody wants to be brought to life. Open doors. Lead me on into my core. I become so numb. So somebody's been suppressing their feelings, right? Will your sheriff win re-election, or will your captain win next year? Let's find out about each one. How about that? We'll see who the strongest is. Be up inside, wake me up inside, call my name and save me from the dark. My life a ride, come undone me from the thing I've become. See, you're nothing if you're on who you want to be. Know that I will without nothing to leave me. Somebody was an incubus earlier. Maybe it's a vampire now. Energy vampires. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. My name and save me from the dark. All right, let's see. Universal energy. We can see the possibilities, okay? What is the character of the sheriff? What is the character of the sheriff? Oh, we already got a card. Bring me to The Seven of Cups. Ooh, it's in the reverse. So in the upright, there's a lot of options, right? But in the reverse, he's coming in strong so far, the sheriff. He's already got experience, right? All right, let's see. Somebody opens their eyes to everything. You know, it's funny because we had that coffin on here earlier, right? Somebody wants you to lead them to the light. I can't wake up. Save me. Call my name and save me from the dark. So somebody wants to hear from you. I want to hear from you, please. I'm trying to reach you. Save me. Save me from the nothing I've become. I want to. Somebody wants you to bring them to the light. You know, even the dark has to come to the light. Where's the other one? There's the other one, right? You want to get off that shelf. Yeah. All right. All right, let's see. What do we got for the captain? He's leading the ship. Where's it at? He's leading the ship. All right. Let's see. What about the captain? Ooh. All right. So we got the moon here. And it's in reverse. What they're battling, that's for sure, right? So we got, ooh, let's see. They're going to duel it out, that's for sure. You know, this way the secret's coming out, right? Knowledge, whatever, right? But they're dueling it out. That's Gemini energy. This guy, I don't know if he's got as good communication skills. So it looks like the sheriff's probably stronger. We'll pull another card. Hanging by a moment. So somebody's living in the moment. Changes by lighthouse. This person's looking for the where I've started. Chasing after you. I need more love with you. Go where all I've held on to. So somebody's ready to let go again. Here we go. Move. Moment here with you. All right, let's see what else we got on the sheriff. Tell us something good, strong. All life working. Completely incomplete. Invitation. Take all of me. So somebody made a contract. Love with you. But you take all of me. Till you make me. So somebody wants to come back and they're going to stay here until you make them move. They're standing in it. God, no. By a moment here with you. So lose. There's nothing else to lose. Nothing else to hide. There's nothing else to find. There's nothing in the world can change my mind. There is nothing else. So somebody finally found their satisfaction. So I was right, huh? Oh, he's got some secrets, that's for sure, and they're going to come out. Well, you know how elections are, but, you know, I don't like secrets. I mean, I'll, you know, keep people's confidence. You know what I'm saying? changes. Somebody's desperate for changes. Praying for chills. To the where I started. Chasing after you. So somebody wants to go back to what they were or had. Because they're falling even more. They didn't expect to catch feelings. With all of hell don't too. So they're not holding back anymore. And they want to fight for this. Hanging by a moment. They're living for the only moment. Yeah. Wow. It's county commissioners and everyone, huh? A moment. I'm gonna take a break right here, guys. All right, let's see. Thank you, Spirit. We'll close out for a second. All right. Just play the music freely. I need a little break. I am drinking my tea with my raw honey. A little bit of lemon. Yeah, lemon is very good for you. Thanks for the blue hearts. Coming undone. Somebody's coming undone. Look at them scared. What are they doing here? Somebody's playing games. They better cash out. Oh, it's no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. Ah, somebody been chasing that rabbit. What does that say? From you on the other side. Somebody been a jackass. You know, somebody looks like they're possessed little kids, scared to death, and they're trying to eat that, what do they call that thing? The cannoli. Look at it. Scared little boy, little kid. They, ain't no fun when a rabbit's got the gun. Now, this is where the, the little kids find themselves. But you know, like Alice in the Wonderland. But we got the rabbit, and they're trying to put this little boy inside. You know, when you become the child that you are inside and live like that, but with, of course, with adult responsibilities, right? You know, people sometimes think I'm innocent or naive. No, I'm not. But I have the heart of a child, right? So, you know, and I like my sweets, right? My hair used to be so white when I was a baby. They called me a towhead. That's funny. But you know, they're eating something sweet, you know? What is that? Somebody's coming undone. Their inner child is coming undone. You know, and somebody's squeezing this poor little teddy bear right here. But the rabbit is trying to, which is fertility, right? Is trying to put that crown back on. So somebody needs to get their crown back on. They're a prince. But somebody's coming undone. 2199306. I wanted to come on yesterday, guys, but I was so sore, man. You know, cooking a dinner like that, it's like a custom dinner, you know. And then delivering some, I was tired, and then we had some other issues go on. With somebody's family member, and so I had to do a lot myself, and just, you know, and then some people couldn't be here, so we had to deliver it, and delivered some the next day, and so those people were the ones that were here, and then, like I said, you know, it was good, really good. Really good. I don't regret anything I've ever done. No regrets. Not even people that, you know, things didn't work out. I never regret doing things because I do it with good intentions, you know, or, you know, for my best good or my highest good. So I don't have any regrets on that. Am I disappointed in some people and some things? Yeah. It's their loss, you know? So, but I don't, I don't have any regrets for anything I've ever done. I've had a lot of experiences. But, a lot of them are lessons, too. How you going to make it through it? Are you still going to have integrity? Things like that. What did you learn from it? Sometimes your lessons are blessings. Rejection is a blessing. It's protection. And it just might not be the right timing either, Voodoo, Godsmack. Well, I always say, if you can't kill them with kindness, kill them with voodoo. Oh, Lord, that's what they think anyway. They're so superstitious. Why, to me, banefulness, actions, gossip, intentions, maliciousness, all those things, that's black magic. Anything comes out of your mouth, first one that's going to hear it is you. So you can believe something. You can self-heal yourself. You can, self-sabotage yourself. But if people are religious, they're going to be superstitious because they know that stuff exists. And I can tell you, this is where voodoo came from. Hello? It's like the atheists. You can't believe something that you're against. It just doesn't make it. It's conflicting. But somebody may be practicing voodoo, But most real good voodoo priestesses, they will check your info before they do anything. Because they believe in them spirits and they ain't going to mess up with the spirits. You don't mess with the dead. You better have a good relationship with them spirits. I promise you that. You don't mess with the dead. You don't insult them. You don't steal from them either. Period. There's voodoo and there's hoodoo. But a lot of times voodoo isn't really bad. You got your good ones, you got your dark sides too. But look at all the superstitions they got in Louisiana, There's a lot of things, Look, everywhere, people like these big tall buildings, they don't put the number 13 in it. Really? That floor is number 13. You just didn't put it on the wall, so you're lying to me. Why don't you just have that empty space there? Then I'll believe there's no floor there. Come on. Oh, don't walk on a crack, break your mama's back. Come on. Oh, black cats are bad. They're bad luck. No, they actually are good luck. They are familiar. They are, you're conscious. It's actually good luck. I've had black cats. So if you call somebody a dark witch, or they doing all these spells and stuff like that, well, you over there gossiping, talking about so and so, and oh, we ought to get them and all that. That is black magic. You know what I'm saying? Lying to people, that's black magic. So if you're going to sit there and accuse somebody that ain't doing that, you're the one doing it. When you steal, you do those things, you're the one doing it. How can you say this person's worshiping the devil when you're the one in devil energy? Being a bully, not having the morals, ethics, and the principles. Being a hypocrite. Looking good outside, not having integrity on the inside. But don't get me wrong, it's good to know the dark and understand it and experience it. Not that you wanted to, but you've been on the other end of it, right? You know, so somebody's saying I'm doing voodoo or they trying to do voodoo against me. I tell you what, you get somebody that does a voodoo on a person that is spiritually connected and anointed, that voodoo priest is going to get some repercussions because they know how strong it's going to be. Unknown guy, hi. Welcome back. I was talking about you earlier. The unknown guy. Oh, you know, because they had some other guys or some other people on here that had the last three numbers on the end. Does that say something nowadays? So what does E9I? I think I heard of you on another channel tonight. Was it Mermaid Prophetess? So what does the E9I mean? Just a random letter. Okay, I guess it kind of separates y'all a little bit, kind of like a little marker. 30102 310 to Huma. You was it Yuma? That was a Western where this guy was breaking out of jail and they were trying to get him back, or he broke out of jail and they were trying to look, you know, bring him on the train to get him there for his death sentence. Ooh, that might mean something. Maybe somebody's getting caught for something and they have to come back. Ooh, that's a separate note. Maybe that's a separate message. Y'all got any questions for me tonight? So somebody's taking some hits, man. Karma's hitting them. Because of the voodoo. They were practicing baneful magic and they're getting karma. Everything they keep doing, it's coming back. It's hitting them harder. So they better stop to think about it. So, you know, it's like, love thy neighbor as thyself, right? So what you're doing, I mean, it's common sense, right? So what I wish for myself, I'm going to wish for others. So if you wish bad for others, you're wishing it for yourself. That's the man in the mirror, and that's the polarity. Let it happen the way it wants to happen. All right, let's get some more energy. We got anything new tonight, Spirit? Let's see about some good luck for you guys. Let's see what we got for some manifesting, something good with the money cards. Let's see. So somebody doesn't know why they love you. Why do I hate you? Why do I love you? Loving you. That's fine, man. Love wins every time. Love will win every time if you let it. Who we got, Spirit? Who we got, Spirit? See, I'm my own hero today. Spirit. No. There's a joke about that one, Superman. Angels are looking for a hero. I want a hero, but I don't need one. Find out I'm my own hero, right? Yeah. What do we got, Spirit? Got any good stuff? Messages for the dreamers. All right, what do we got? Dream 5. Wish you were here. Oh, by the incubus. Somebody's wishing you were there. Well, it's like this. I can't, what is that saying? I'm not all there because I'm not all here. Talk about astro traveling, huh? Somebody wishes you were with them. Well, you know, you could always go to them. What's stopping you? Because somebody's taking it and taking. An incubus is a male. Succubus is a female. They drain you like... Tip my toes into the sand. Oh, wow, the ocean looks like 1,000 diamonds. I remember looking into some people's eyes and I can see the ocean like diamonds, you know? That's when I see their spirits happy and glowing, blissful. I've seen babies' eyes like that. It's beautiful. I can see their spirit, you know? It's beautiful. And they can see yours. So somebody wishes you were here to see your eyes again. I wish you. Wish you were here. All right, what do we got, Spirit? I just love hearing the music. I wish I could play it on here. I'll lay my head onto the sand. What's up, Ivo? I'm doing good. Happy holidays, my love. Somebody's happy. And that's one of the first songs we heard today was happy. So that's what the intentions and the energy was to begin here, was people want to be happy. Nobody can make you happy. They can share it with you. They can make you laugh. You know, those kind of things. But we can't ultimately make you happy. That's something that comes from within. Self-motivation, self-discipline. Every emotion is an action word, negative or positive. All right, what do we got? Promoter! Here we go. Somebody's on a roller coaster. Promoter. If there is a new idea or project manifesting, know it has great potential for success. Careers in the nightlife industry, events, or restaurant industry could be right for you. Use the law of attraction for money. Be the energy you want to attract. Y'all want to know what that one? How to do that one? Anybody? Put hearts in the chat if you want me to tell you. What you been up to, Ivo? All right. Promote yourself. Okay? Nightlife. I can go for that one. I want to be a DJ, right? Runaway. Lincoln Park. Somebody's a runaway, man. Why should you run and hide, man? It's not good. This person's got wings, man. On the album. Okay. Careers in the nightlife industry, events, or restaurant industry. Maybe you're, you know, can be a promoter or work parties, events. You know, work in any kind of restaurants or businesses like that. Could be right for you. And the attraction for money, be the energy you want to attract. Well, I like cooking, right? That's hard work, you know, even working in a hotel or, you know, like an Airbnb and things like that. But you can have some kind of project, and it could be for success. It could be sex, too. Maybe they're eating steak in one of those places. It's definitely the nightlife. We had one here earlier, Lips of an Angel, right? Okay, so, um, I used to work in the nightlife too. It was when I was younger. I was a work to get people out on the dance floor. That's why they call them go-go dancers. Get up and go, 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 or like American Bandstand, that type of thing. I love to dance. I've been dancing since I was a little kid. I took ballet and things like that. So, but the law of attraction, be the energy you want to be. Picture yourself doing it, learning it. Every day I get up and say, I am peace, will be peace, comes to me easily, effortlessly. I will be better and better every day, the best version of myself. I compete with me. Um, I stay happy. I enjoy life. I enjoy the moment because life is short. It could be gone in a second. So that's why, you better be happy before you go because you don't want any regrets, right? That's what the scales are. So, somebody wants to know the truth. Somebody wants to know the truth, not any more lies. But never mind. I don't know why I thought about that, but I'll bring it up later. I want to think positive at the moment. Somebody wants to run away. All right, thank you. So somebody's in denial, right? But they don't want to be in denial anymore. And here we go, another. And he's talking about the beach, right? So we've had 3 people walking on the cards that's alone, right? Or even on the music. Perhaps you are insisting that reality be something other than what it is. So somebody's living in a fantasy land, la la land. So they're coming out of that denial and realizing, maybe who they are or what they want to be. Get stoned. Here we go again, that same thing. So somebody's getting high and doing stuff, right? So the forefront's coming. We had the, the crystal ball. What you refusing to see, it's better to live in truth than a lie. That's correct. So somebody's trying to conceal it, maybe on that part. What are you refusing to see? So maybe they're starting to see, right? If you've been putting a false front to make money, it's time to remove the mask. Because somebody's been lying about how they make their money. No shade, maybe somebody's a 304 in progress. Okay? And somebody... So... Well, I know that when I do a 420, it's awesome. You know what I'm saying over here? Intimately. Okay, Gaia. Spend time with nature to be healed, soothed, and regroup. Protecting the planet, herbalism, livestock, or working with nature could be for you. Maybe somebody's working with nature. The universe is working with you. Believe in its subtle magnetism to guide you. So listen to your inner guide, right? All right. Your intuition. So let's go home, get stoned. We can wind up making love instead of misery. Somebody likes doing that with you. But somebody only knows how to be a 304 hoe. That's terrible. That don't care about their vessel or anybody else's. So somebody's in misery. Somebody likes what do you call that? You know, fighting makeups, SEX. But they like the X, CX when you're mad at them. Instead of misery. So somebody's wanting you to go get, you know, smoke some 420 because the X is so much better when you're mad at me. So these people like that, you know, rough, angry X. EX. But, you know, that would calm them down, you know, and then, you know, they actually, you know, make love. They're not mad anymore, you know. Fly from the inside, shine down. The weight of the world on my shoulders. Boy, it's some heavy metal rock tonight, man. Some rock. Real extreme frequency. So somebody is really just full of like pent up energy. It's coming out, you know, it's just electric. So Diana is consuming now. The voice inside screams out loud, I ain't lying here. So somebody's insides are wanting to scream because they're holding back. The last song that was anger too, you know, somebody's mad. They're not getting along, you know. All right. We got Spirit. Anything else? Give me one more card. Give me one more card. Every day, a new deception. Can't seem to take direction. They're not listening to their intuition. They're trying to search to connect. Okay. So this frequency changed. A gift. Someone might give you a gift, lend you money, or help you in some way, and it's in reverse. Lost their gift or not getting it. You could get a cash bonus at work, so somebody's losing money. You have natural talents, gifts, and abilities just waiting to be discovered. Explore them. So this person is stagnant, ain't doing nothing. Ouch. Yeah, we need to change that frequency. Let's change that. Let's change it, change it, change it. Let's see what we got. Somebody has a missing child. I hope not. There's some people entangled here with a child. They're not saying it. Blurry. They're bloody. Puddle of muddle. Puddle of mud. Blurry by puddle of mud. All right, let's go. Let's see. Let's listen to 70s light rock radio. Let's see. The Tin Man. Ha ha ha! No Heart Tin Man. Oh my God. That's funny. The Tin Man. Somebody today was saying pina colada, get caught in the rain. All right. I'm going to take a little bit of break, guys, and I'll come back on, change the energy, maybe clean the cards. I need to stretch a little bit. Okay? I'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes, all right? All right, y'all. I enjoyed y'all being here, right here at the station. I really appreciate all my riders and returners, new people you were brought here just right on time to catch the train. All right, much love. But I'll be back about 10 or 15 minutes. I want to get a snack or something. So we're going out with Tin Man in America. Maybe you're in America. And just remember that Tin Man in the Wizard. He's got to find his heart. Yeah, but he always had it. I'll be back. And this is Spirit. We're signing out. Forgive me for a second. I'm trying to sneeze. Oh, shit. Okay. This is Brie Brie, your favorite Spirit DJ. And I'll see y'all back at the show. Just remember, do your best, be your best. Seek the light, be the light, and show it to the world. Take those gifts that you were born with. Don't be afraid. You know, you can make money at them, and it'll never feel like you're working. And give back to your neighbor. Love them how you want to be loved. You never know. You can get a great big hug. But right now, I'll give you a big smooch. See y'all in a little bit. Signing off. Be safe.